Hello everyone, my name is Bai Qingyun. My English name is Peter. Today I'm glad that I can give my persuasive speech. Many students have heard teachers say such a sentence. You must cultivate critical thinking. But for most of students, it is a confusion for them to understand the meaning of critical thinking. But don't worry, I have searched for plenty of information to, to illustrate my speech more clearly. So today I will explain why students should think critically. My speech has four parts. The first part is 3 reasons why students should think critically. The second part is the answer of the counter-argument. The last 2 parts are conclusion and references. The first reason why students should think critically is that critical thinking can help students in academic performance. According to Professor Carey, academic thinking can help students to make good sound decisions because it needs students to apply other important skills such as making connection skills, perspective taking skills, and the communication skills. Secondly, it helps students to analyze what they have learned because critical thinking needs students to consider how the new information fits in what they have learned or, or whether the new information contradicts what they have learned. The second reason is that critical thinking can help students in current life. According to Jet News, a website about education, it reveals that critical thinking can help students to enhance research skills because critical thinking needs students to observe, analyze, and construct detailed experiments with every element to get efficient results. It also helps students to make sense of information because when students need to analyze plenty of information, it can help students to select the most crucial one. The third reason is that critical thinking helps students in future life. According to Future News, it reveals that first, it can lead to better interpersonal outcomes. Critical thinking provides students with resources to properly evaluate the information they receive and successfully raise an argument. Through critical thinking, students can become active agents rather than passive bystanders. Secondly, it improves the quality of the future life. It helps build students' self-confidence and enables students to efficiently gather, gather knowledge and quickly process the information. But some people may argue that the crucial thinking is not useful, and they have no methods to cultivate the the critical thinking. But I will say that it is too ridiculous. It is too ridiculous, and there are many methods to cultivate uh, the critical thinking. Let me introduce 3. For students, they should identify a subject objectively because students can gain a better knowledge from these methods. So, thirdly, teachers should teach students to evaluate information because students needs to know where the information comes from and how it relates to what they have learned. And the teachers also teach students problem-solving skills students also needs because students also needs needs to know the nature of the problems and think about possible solutions. The three reasons why students should think critically. First, it helps students to make good sound decisions. Second, it analyzes what they have learned. Thirdly, it helps students in current and future life. Uh, first, students should identify a subject objectively. Secondly, teachers should teach students information evaluation. Second, teachers should teach students problem-solving skills. As my speech comes to an end, I think critical thinking can promote people in many aspects. If you are still confused with why students should think critically, you can you can memorize what I delivered. You can review the main idea in a few seconds on your spare time. Eventually, I hope that every student can become a critical thinker. The PPT is my references. Thank you for your listening.